Wednesday convinces a skeptical Sheriff Galpin that the perpetrator of the murders is in fact a monster. Suddenly, Rowan appears unharmed. Wednesday doubts her sanity and decides to investigate the murders herself. She roams the campus inquiring about Rowan and is told that he has been expelled. Meanwhile, Weems grows worried about Wednesday's visions, keeping close tabs on her. Wednesday confronts a defensive Rowan as he leaves the school and sends Thing to follow him. Rowan is revealed to be Principal Weems, who has shapeshifted into him, and Thing loses her. Wednesday has visions of a book belonging to an old student society. In her search for the book, she overhears Bianca planning to rig the upcoming student tournament. Wednesday joins Enid to defeat Bianca and win the tournament. Later, Wednesday discovers a hidden library within the school, where she is captured. That's the synopsis of episode 2 of Wednesday. And this episode is entitled Woe is the Loneliest Number. And we find out in this episode that Professor Weems, or Professor, I mean Principal Weems, he could be a professor, but Principal Weems is actually a shapeshifter, and she actually is pretending to be Rowan, or was she Rowan all along? Was there a Rowan and he was killed, and then she is trying to mess with Wednesday's mind, make her think she's going crazy? Maybe she did the same thing to her mom, because apparently we find out in this show, that Wednesday and her mom share some things in common. They both have visions. Weems told Wednesday that your mom had visions back when we were, roomies together. We have that, and then another thing we found out, of course, in this thing we had the games, which was a, what do you call it? A thing. It was a boating competition, and it's named after Edgar Allan Poe, who is one of their top, most esteemed pupils, most esteemed alumni from the school, from Nevermore. And we find out that they win. I love the fact that Wednesday finally gave in to Enid and decided that she's going to help them out, because one of the teams, I guess the co-captain, had an allergic reaction to something like that and wasn't able to make the games. And Wednesday comes in and they win, and you find out that her mom, actually, the last time they won was actually when their mom was the captain, if I remember correctly, and Principal Weems was the co-captain. So you see a couple of things there that kind of link them together, and they could be further from tight or close. Wednesday says that a bunch of times here, that she's not close to her mom, but they're closer than she thinks. The one thing I saw when I saw this episode, I'm like, Bianca, she's talented, she's got skills, she's a scale, so she's really, really good underwater. At least that's what they said about her. Yet, she needed one of her fellow, scale mates, I'll say, to swim underwater and cause the early out of their opponents, pushing one of these guys' boats against a dinghy or something, and it shattered their boat. And they tried that with Wednesday and there, but then Thing does his thing. I like the first time they tried to subdue that underwater cheater, swimming underneath. They hit him with a net, and then they're trying to do the same thing to Wednesday and Enid's team, pushing them against a dinghy, pushing them against to shatter their boat, and then Thing goes underwater and does a little like this, and this, bam, pops that guy in the mouth, knocks him out, or pops him in the eye, because later on you see a shiner on him, and they end up winning. But along the way, we see that she has a vision. When she went to go retrieve her flag, she sees looks like a, I guess, a lighter version, like a version, because she's always gothic, dark, right? But then the other one had lighter hair, like that. You could tell it was Jenna Ortega, if I'm not mistaken, playing that alternate version or whatever. I don't know if it was an alternate version, but it pretty much told her that she's the one. She had a book in her hand, the book that she was looking for the whole time. And then they win, and Wednesday's looking for that purple book. And when she finds it and finds a hidden library, where you see a picture of her mom and her dad when they were young and students at the time, then she gets a hood or something, a black one over her head, and that's how it ends. Very intriguing. Really, really. It's only the second episode, and it's already getting you down, taking you down that path. Really, really unusual, really unique, because Rowan died. We saw him die. And then when she's in there talking to Sheriff Galpin, who's skeptical, and of course, he doesn't understand these different types of freaks and weirdos that they have at Nevermore, and even Principal Weems is like, you're blaming one of my students, and I'm just thinking, who else would it be when you have fangs and you have furs and you have scales and you have those, they have powers. They're like, some of them are wolves and some of them are like that, and then of course he's gonna question them. But that we saw that monster. He tore him up. He tore up Rowan, and then all of a sudden you see her looking, like the sheriff's assistant goes, hey chief, or hey sheriff, you gotta see this, and then in comes Rowan, and then you see Wednesday with a stunned look on her face. Now she looks even more of a loony, or like she's gone crazy, or she's lost her mind, and you see him there, and she tries to talk to him, and he's just like, leave me alone. And then Christina Ricci's character there, I forget her name at the moment, she's driving Rowan, I guess Rowan driving because he's leaving the school. He got expelled, and when she does that, it's like, then you see on the tailgate there, on the rear view, the rear bumper, you see Thing taking a ride, going along for a ride, hitching a ride, and he follows him into the bathroom, but Rowan's able to go into the bathroom, into the stall before Thing gets in there, and then he comes out, not even a second. It was just so instantaneous. Goes into the stall, closes it, opens it right away, and out comes an old man. And right away I'm thinking, wait a minute, he just turned into an old man. I didn't think about shapeshifter yet. And then we see that gentleman walking, and all of a sudden, it's kind of clever because there's a light, and then there's like a light, like a light bulb, like a lights, like those light fixtures above him, and then it's like, it's light then dark, light then dark, and then when he's coming in, you see him as light, and when it hits the dark part, when he goes into the light again underneath one of the light fixtures, you see Principal Weems appear, and wow, what's her deal? What is she up to? I mean, she's a principal. She went to the school, so she obviously is one of those type of creatures that has a certain power. What does she fall under? Furs, scales. Does she fall under any of them? But we see her, and the Thing doesn't know what to think. It's like looking like, where did he go? And she just waltzes out of there, and I don't think Thing saw her, because then Thing would have told Wednesday. And there's a little tense moment between the two. She had to apologize, Even Enid was actually kind of playing the go between, to kind of make them, because Wednesday yelled at him and all this, and you know, he's only a hand thing, but thing has feelings too, I guess. And but Enid's funny because Enid's like she's really, really, you know, coming close to him. She even says that he gives a mean massage, and they're getting pedicures and manis. I guess he has no feet, so manicures. Manicures together. And he's a hand, so of course, that's he's got to take care of that. And then she's a werewolf, and she has those long, long, talons, if you will, long claws. So she has to get those things worked on. It's funny because I was watching him walking, and I go, man, I can see why he always has to get a manicure every other day because. Man, he's like walking all over, using his hands. He even stepped in gum when he was at that train station. That was funny, you know. I missed it. I don't know why. I missed it the first time when I watched it, and then when I was watching clips later, just to freshen my memory before I do this video, and then I saw him, and I go, "Oh shoot, he stepped in, or finger stepped in gum." And poor thing, it's like you don't know what to think. He loses Rowan. He thinks he has Rowan. He went to the bathroom, and then all of a sudden, where is he? Where's he at? He's in there, going in there, going. Where's he at? Where's he at? And that's the thing about situation with Wednesday here is I don't know what it is about Bianca, but I don't like her. I don't know. Maybe as a character and even as I don't know. I just don't gel with. I don't vibe with her or gel with. I don't It's probably one character I don't like. I don't know why. What it is. But she's got a one-on-one thing, a rivalry with her when she's underneath the bed after she's trying to look for clues or looking for the purple book where it's at, right in Rowan's former room. He shares it with Xavier, and then Bianca goes in there, and her and Xavier are talking, and she's trying to reconcile, but he doesn't want to. Their former boyfriend girlfriend, and you wonder what happened there. But then again, he did say that you were trying to manipulate me, and you're trying to do all this stuff, and she's all saying, "Oh, we were perfect together." And he's like, "Going, is that really what it was, or is that what you wanted it to be?" You know. And she's underneath the the bed. Wednesday is, and she's listening to this, and she's trying to convince Xavier that she's not a good person, and that she's not the dream girl you thought she was. Why are you so fawning over her all the time? And she says that there's earlier in that discussion, she's like, "Oh, she's like she doesn't like anybody. She thinks she's better than all of us." And then when you know later on, she kind of gave Bianca a little jab, going, because of course Bianca didn't know that she was under the bed and heard her, and she goes, "Yeah, you know what? I don't think I'm better than everyone. I just think I'm better than you." And I'm like, "Ooh, that's a little nice jab there, like kind of let her know that, hey, I know what you're talking about, but you don't know how I did, you don't know how I found out, you don't know how I learned." She kind of had a face, so Bianca was like, huh, what, like, how did she know that? you know. But yeah, I enjoyed this episode. This show really is just a lot of fun, and like I said, every time I see Jenna Ortega on screen, she just blows me away with really not doing much, meaning she just plays Wednesday so just like no feeling, no emotion, no get up and go. She just plays very stoic, but it's such a good performance. That shows how good of an actress she is. Because, you can have somebody, try to play this role, and all they think is that, well, I'm just gonna show no emotion. But showing no emotion in acting, you have to show emotion. That's hard, right? That's hard to do, but she does it well. In this episode, like I said, it was a lot of fun. One of the visions, she had a number of visions. She had one of those visions where she actually saw Xavier and Rowan fighting, and he does his telekinesis and knocks him back. And that's the point when he was pushing the gargoyle over to try to kill Wednesday. Then he had that one with the alternate. I don't know if it's an alternate version of her. Had that one, and then there was another one. You know, And it's one of those things where it can be jarring at times when she always has that vision, but I like what they do with it, and it does connect. Like you just follow along. What does that vision have to do with where she's going and what she's trying to find out? Does it connect to what really happened to Rowan? She doesn't know that that's not really Rowan. That actually was Principal Weems. So, like I said, is Principal, not Principal, but is Rowan really a real boy? Or is it Principal Weems, you know, trying to pretend to be him? I mean, pretended to be him all along? But then again, I'm thinking maybe it was Rowan beforehand, and then when he died, she pretty much took it over so that she can kind of drive Wednesday crazy. Like maybe it's a way for her to get back because maybe her and Morticia didn't get along. Principal Williams and Morticia. Probably she's trying to get back at her through her daughter. Who knows, right? But like I said, very good acting all around. I love the story. I love just the look of it, the visuals. Tim Burton is directing this one. He directed the last one. I believe he directs 4 of these in a row. I believe, yeah, 4 in a row. And I'm just thinking after he does his thing, it's just gonna keep going. So momentum can keep going with the other directors. You know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I really, really did enjoy this episode. And what I'm really, really stoked about now is the fact that tomorrow, or by the time this thing will be posted on Wednesday, and also the Mandalorian is going to be season 3 is going to be dropping. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm excited about that. I got one more show or one more episode of Andor, and after that, then every week will be Mandalorian in its place. I'll still be doing Wednesday, and then we'll see. We'll go through those, and then whatever that's going to be the next show will be the next show. But like I said, I really enjoyed this episode, and let's see where it goes for part 3, or not part 3, but episode 3. And that's all I can say about this episode. I may have missed some things, but I talked about the things that I could remember and the things that kind of struck me about this episode. Very good episode. Jenna Ortega can do no wrong in this role. She really is amazing, and I really enjoy what she's doing. Gwendolyn Christie as Principal Weems, she knocks it out of the park too. I love her. Ever since I saw her in Game of Thrones, I was hooked. I love her as an actress. Also, Captain Phasma in the Star Wars sequels. That's one of the roles he's done that everybody likes her character. Probably the only thing that a lot of people like about the Star Wars sequels. The Skywalker saga, whatever you want to call that. But anyway, before I keep going and babbling, let's end this video, and I will do that right here. So for those of you who stop by and check this video, I appreciate it. Thank you for your support. And in closing, as always, take care.